Good morning, and welcome to the second annual Village of Orland Park Hometown Heroes Dedication Program. Thank you for being here. We love having these ceremonies. We love conducting these observances, especially here at Ara Pace Place of Peace Memorial. What could be more fitting? As we begin today's activities, let's take a moment and each of us in our own hearts and minds remember why we are here today, who brings us here today, and how grateful we are that they have been a part of our lives. So a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Now, if you are able, please stand as we raise the flags. We will recite the Pledge of Allegiance when the flags are at full staff. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please take your seats. First of all, I'd like to recognize the trustees that are present with us today. We have Trustee Sean Kampas and Trustee Michael Milani, and we thank them for being here with us today. We also want to thank the members of Public Works and Parks and Rec that helped put these on for us, and for the Public Information Office and the photos and all of the good social media presence that we get. So I want to thank all of those people for everything they do that helps us get here with these types of ceremonies. Thank you. It's amazing to me sometimes where inspiration comes from. Way back in the early 80s, I was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado as a young captain, and I went to work one morning and the Post newspaper, the Fort Carson Mountaineer, was sitting on my desk. And on the front of that particular issue was a quote from John Stuart Mill that has stuck with me ever since. It was one of those things that just grabbed and hung on. Now, John Stuart Mill lived for most of the 19th century, and he has been regarded by many as the most influential English language philosopher of that century. He served as a member of Parliament, and he represented the city of Westminster in the late 60s, 1860s that is. And he wrote, and I'm not going to speak on this for a long time, it's more think. War is an ugly thing, but not the ugliest of things. The decayed and degraded state of moral and patriotic feeling which thinks that nothing is worth war is much worse. A man who has nothing for which he is willing to fight, nothing which is more important than his own personal safety, is a miserable creature and has no chance of being free unless made and kept so by the exertions of better men than himself. Ladies and gentlemen, that stuck with me ever since. And yesterday I was thinking about what I would say today, and it came to me that why we are here today is because of these men who recognized that there are things worth more than self. That's why they're heroes. I don't care if they were a cook at Fort Benning, Georgia. I don't care if they were a POW in World War II and in a Stalag. They all went somewhere because they were willing to step forward. And because they stepped forward, we are who we are. Many of them are in the audience today. And you we thank especially. Many of them are no longer with us, and we remember them today. But I wanted to share that with you because I just always thought When I look around and I see people talking what I think is the ridiculous, I think of John Stuart Mill. That guy nailed it 150 years ago. Now, normally at this point, I would introduce our mayor to say a few words, but Mayor Pekow is not able to be with us today. We are very fortunate to have Trustee Sean Kampas here representing the mayor and to say a few words for us. Sean has been an Orland Park resident since 2015. He graduated magna cum laude with a Bachelor of Science degree in computer science from Bradley University. That's one of those degrees where I can't even spell it. All right, computer science, okay. During the few years that he has been with us, Sean has served as chairman of the Orland Park Technology Commission. He also co-authored and delivered the new ethics ordinance for the Village of Orland Park as a member of the Ad Hoc Ethics Committee. He is an accomplished leader with over 20 years of experience in technology, business, and strategy consulting. He works as a problem solver who unleashes the full potential of organizations. He is an innovator. He has 3 patents in the areas of hybrid cloud management and a system for collaborative innovation. I will at some point ask him what all that means, because I don't have a clue, okay? You're just way up there, okay? As a Village of Orland Park trustee, Sean Kampas has worked tirelessly to make sure the Village of Orland Park continues to grow while enhancing the reputation we have as a great place to live, work, and play. Sean is married to Reagan, and they have one daughter, Taryn. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Village of Orland Park trustee Sean Kampas.
So on behalf of Mayor Pekow and the Village Board, thank you all for being here to celebrate those honored today for our second year of Hometown Heroes program, and what a wonderful program this is. Trustee Rajewski was unable to attend today. However, her father, Adrian George Spargarin, is among those being celebrated today. Joni, please know that you have our continued support and prayers for your recovery. I especially wish to thank our Veterans Commission. They have already given of their time in service of their country and now volunteer more time in honor of all those who served. This program exists due to their care and effort, and so I thank Dale, Daryl, Mohamed, Catherine, Dan, Leonard, John, Michael, Tom, Carl, and Matt for all of your contribution. We are also blessed today to have 3 docents who will be escorting the tours and reading the bios of those being honored and celebrated. Thank you, Gail Bloomer, Dale Carver, and Nancy Carver for giving your time. Family and friends, during this tour, if you have additional anecdotes and stories about your heroes, please share them during the tour. I'm sure the docents would very much appreciate you taking the time and adding those additional comments. Today, as every day, I am a proud American. That pride does not depend on who is sitting in the White House or who controls the Congress. Our system was designed specifically to limit any individual or group to amass too much control for an extended period. Human beings are flawed. Our founders understood this both in recognizing their own flaws and those of the generations to come. Instead, my pride is rooted in knowing that our country, built on the cornerstone of freedom, pillared by self-determination, buttressed by opportunity, and adorned in bravery, has endured the test of time. While our country in terms of geography may be very young in comparison to the rest of the world, our government is the oldest living representative democracy. In establishing our republic, the founders agreed that the role of government is to secure the blessings of liberty endowed to us by our Creator. Those freedoms, those rights are not granted by the government. Instead, the Constitution is specifically designed to restrain federal governments from overreach. The preamble to our foundation of law begins with "we, the people," for that is where the authority of our system ultimately lies. The founders understood that our country would evolve and adapt through the years through structured representation. They also provided the means for the people to alter or abolish that government as needed. When we consider the oath of the American service member, they very deliberately swear first to defend and uphold the Constitution. Although freedom is rightfully ours from birth, our nation has always had enemies, foreign and domestic, who have sought to extinguish liberty in favor of control. Freedom has always had a price. None of what we enjoy today would have been possible without those in uniform willing to sacrifice to pay that price. From the American Revolution to Pearl Harbor to 9/11, when our liberty has been challenged, the women and men of the United States military have stood up against tyranny. To all those that have given so much of themselves, we owe a great debt. 1 year before the Civil War ended, President Lincoln addressed the 189th New York Volunteers with these words: "Soldiers, I am exceedingly obliged to you for this mark of respect. It is said that we have the best government the world ever knew, and I am glad to meet you, the supporters of that government. To you who render the hardest work in its support should be given the greatest credit. Others who are connected with it and who occupy high positions, their duties can be dispensed with, but we cannot get along without your aid." Veterans sacrifice their time, their blood, and for far too many, their very lives. Our veterans defend liberty 365 days a year. Their service often means enduring long separations from their families and missing important milestones in their children's lives. They often deal with extreme environments ranging from sub-zero frigid to baking in the desert. Some are confined to cramped spaces like the interior of a submarine. While others stand post for long hours of boredom, or worse, the terror-filled moments of the high stress of combat. Their spouses also pay a price, including frequently changing addresses, disruptions to their own careers, and taking on the full parental responsibility. Their children may have to change schools and leave behind friends and relationships that make them feel secure. They also live with the fear that mom or dad may not come home. Ultimately, there is no greater sacrifice than for the Gold Star families and friends of those that have fallen. Never again will they embrace their loved ones. Life as they have known it is forever changed and that much harder going forward. So many of our veterans carry with them a burden of loss, such that many of us cannot even begin to understand. When two veterans meet for the first time, you can see it in their demeanor, hear it in the inflection of their greeting, and feel how they instantly connect with one another, no matter their backgrounds. I hope that we will see that today during the tours, because in those moments, we see how we all can be united in purpose despite our differences. Yes, I am a proud American, because I am forever grateful for the American spirit demonstrated and sacrificed by our veterans. I stand for the national anthem because they have stood for us time and time again. And because I believe and know that I am not alone in this, in the spirit of standing up, I have a request now that'll be a little bit different than perhaps you're normally used to in how we recognize the veterans among us. So for all those that are able, I would ask that the non-veterans please stand. Now please turn and face the nearest veteran who has hopefully remained seated, and in whatever fashion most appropriate for you, saying thank you, a handshake, or for those of us further back, applause. Please let these veterans know that you now stand for them as they have stood for us. We honor our veterans, both those still among us and those who have passed, in recognizing their sacrifice and, more importantly, accepting it as a gift continuously paid. Thank you for all that you have given to keep this nation great.
Thank you, Trustee Kampas. I really appreciate that. All of us here do. And no matter how I prep, I always screw up something, from suggesting people take their seats somewhere to getting the names backward. So Trustee Kampas's wife is Taryn and his daughter is Reagan. I got them backwards. I'm name dyslexic, okay? As we move on through today, we have a couple more things to do. First of all, we have one of our honorees who is currently the director of the Department of Public Works of the Village of Orland Park. He is retired Navy Commander Joel William Van Essen. And he, because he is the director of Public Works and controls all the lift trucks and all the guys with wrenches, wanted his banner placed in front of Public Works, which is down close to 159th Street. I love Joel, he's a comrade in arms, but I don't like him enough to walk that far. So we are going to honor him from the podium, and those of you who have a kinship with him, feel free. It's all on you, okay? Commander Joel Van Essen was born in Pompton Plains, New Jersey in December of 1970. He spent much of his early childhood in Nigeria. He is a graduate of Chicago Christian High School and Calvin College in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Joel entered military service as a naval officer in 1996 and retired in 2016. During his career, he served at 7 stateside locations and also did tours in Afghanistan, Spain, and Okinawa. He visited over 22 countries during his time in the Navy. His military specialty was as a Civil Engineering Corps officer, a CB, specializing in public works and construction. His awards from his time in service and decorations include a Bronze Star, 2 Meritorious Service Medals, 4 awards of the Navy Marine Corps Commendation Medal, 2 Navy Marine Corps Achievement Medals, and I don't know how he worked this, 1 Army Achievement Medal. Okay. Joel has been married to his wife, the former Christine Regnerus, for more than 20 years. They have 2 teenage young men, William and Isaac. And following his retirement, Commander Van Essen has been employed by the Village of Orland Park as our Public Works Director. He is a registered architect in the state of Illinois, so recognition to Commander Van Essen. Something that's not on anybody's program but mine, and I've got the mic, is recognition of someone who does all the heavy lifting for what we do, especially with this program. This is an extremely labor-intensive personal interaction program. I don't know how many times each of you spoke with Daryl of getting your paperwork in, arranging the information, and then the things he does behind the scene, working with people in the village to get the program, to get this set up. But we've seldom hold him forward, but we're going to do it today, and that's Mr. Daryl Wertheim. He is our program coordinator, assistant for Veterans Affairs, and he's the reason all these things happen. Okay, at this point, we are going to read the names of the 35 people being honored today. We'll have 3 of the commission members come up. They will read them in groups. Those will be your tour groups, okay? Dan Braglia, wherever he went. Oh, there he is, sorry. He will read Group A. Catherine Foster will read Group B. And Jim Dubleby will read Group C. What did I say? What did I say? Jim. Okay. Tom, Jim. I've only known him for 8 years, whatever. Okay. The docent for Group A will be Gail Blummer. So after we're all done, you will be meeting with her. For Group B will be me. And for Group C will be the lovely lady in the red shirt, my wife, Nancy. Okay. So at this point, I introduce to you Dan Braglia, who will read the names that will be going in Group A. And please stay until we're done with all the names, okay? Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. After we read the name, we'd like the families to stand up and be recognized. To start the list, we've got Thomas Growowski, Tim McCarthy, Frank Aldemar, Joseph Shine, Matthew Underwater, James Thompson, Harold Lossick, Thomas Humphrey, Richard Bali, Joseph Zarmensky, George Spargan, Eugene Moscow, and Ernest Breathbarth. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Our second group is going to be announced by Catherine Foster, and she'll be announcing them shortly. All right.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming and joining us for this wonderful occasion. I'm assigned to read the names of Group B, and as Dale said, he is the leader, the docent for Group B. The first one is Jack Baldwin. Next is Lawrence Barchuk. Richard Sendra. George Guzzero. John McNaughton. Edward Shukai. We have brothers Robert and John Loungevin. Robert Nelson. William Nicholson. Charles Skinner, Jr. Louis Fazoli's. Dan Braglia. Anthony Brandes. And Keith Pekow.
For those of you whose names I'm about to butcher, please accept my apologies in advance. And Dale, my name's Tom. Who? Tom. Nancy Carver will be leading Group C. Michael, the family of Michael T. Friend. Paul T. Bickle. Willard E. Dixon. Steve Edward Keller. Robert F. Fitzgibbon, Jr. Barry W. Yoakum. William Robert Vogel. By any chance, is this Trustee Vogel's? I had the honor and pleasure of serving on the village board with Bill Vogel, and didn't realize he was a veteran until after he was gone. I never had an opportunity to properly thank him for his service to our country, so I'll thank his family. Thank you. With that, please, will the docents stand, groups A, B, and C, and you can proceed forward to pay homage to the veterans who are with us today. Thank you.